did you hook up with him, and then why didn't he continue with the band?
Okay, I'm stumped.
Well, how did you hook up with Felix Robinson, and why didn't he stay in the band?
Oh, I don't remember. I thought we put out an ad or something, and he answered it, and
he was out of Angel. Obviously, the Angel had been broken up a few years ago.
Obviously, no, he didn't look like he didn't look like Angel anymore. You know, me and Mike were there, and we all looked like we're in a '80s rock band, and he showed up with his hair all cut off, and I didn't even recognize him at first, but why he didn't work out. We had a lot of bass players and drummers. You mentioned Bruno Ravel, and
he was in White Lion too.
Bruno Ravel,
yeah.
Wow. And Dave Spitz.
I knew he was
Dave Spitz's brother, right. And just a lot of people. It's just personalities, things. Dave Spitz was offered the Black Sabbath,
right,
and he left us to join Black Sabbath, and then that lasted maybe a month.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I don't remember exactly the specific reasons. It's just it's like asking somebody, 20 years ago, why'd you break up with a girl? It just happened.
Gary, you're live on the air. Go ahead. What's up?
Did I mention Greg and James today?
What's that?
Did I mention Greg and James Clemente and Greg D'Angelo?
We mentioned them, yeah.
Because I read in an interview that they don't want to play with each other anymore. So if there ever is a reunion, it's like one or the other. So Vito, I was wondering what your relationship was with those guys. Like, have you seen them lately? Like, are you friends with him?
No, I saw Greg about 10 years ago, and I saw James about, I don't know. Have I ever seen James? Yeah, I mean, it just seems like there's this bad blood between all four individually, against this one, against that one. It just seems like a whole mess. I don't know how to get over that. It's all these different personalities, but I couldn't tell you why Greg and James won't play with each other.
Where back then they would only play with each other for a long time.
Well, that's the whole thing. I felt a connection to James Lomenzo, for instance. But James was hooked up with, it was almost like this thing of the non-songwriters against the songwriters because of this reason and because of that reason. And it was just such stupid stuff that eventually breaks up bands. You work your whole life to form a band and become successful, and then stupidity gets in the way. I don't know. I hate to have a situation where people did a reunion just for money, because I was already offered that. And there are people saying, oh, Vito, he's all about the money. I mean, it's exactly the opposite. I was offered the money to do the reunions, but I'm not going to go up there just for a paycheck.
And James, these days, for the people that don't know, James is the bass player in Megadeth. He's been in Megadeth for the last year. He played with Roth. He's played with Zakk Wylde and Black Label Society. So James actually has probably been the most active of the four guys known from the lineup, the classic lineup of White Lion in terms of, playing and touring. I mean, he hasn't really stopped, in any of the stuff. And, I just want, Vito's obviously, giving his, feelings about the guys, whether it be Mike, James, or Greg, and talking very honestly about where things are at. And, all these guys are, we all kind of grew up through this scene together, so I can sense where you're, I get the vibe of where you're coming from, that it's very much like a brotherhood. You guys did some amazing things together, and, there's always going to be that bond. And as far as I'm concerned for this show, just so you guys know as listeners, I mean, it's kind of a similar thing to people always talk about how I'm friends with the guys in Skid Row and friends with Sebastian, and, they both have open doors to come and do this show. Mike Tramp, I could go on and tell the same stories I'm telling with Vito about my time with Mike. So, the door's open here for anybody to come in. This isn't about taking sides or choosing sides or anything like that. It's just about, living the memories, and, you can see there's this, no matter what barbs go on in the press or what people say, there's always going to be that stronger connection. And again, it goes back to when I think about Ace and talk to Ace all the time, and all the craziness that goes on in the Kiss world, and who's in, who's out, who's dressing who like who. But at the end of the day, if you really back those guys into a corner, they'll all say, you know what, it's like brothers. We did something that will always hold us together, even if we don't talk for 10 years.
But all of that stuff is always there. I just finished the book on, I just read a book about Jim Morrison. And it's the same story. Every band, every generation, I mean, this is a band in the 60s. I mean, the Beatles and everything. It's always this, I mean, that's got to be the hardest thing, to get four guys in a room who are going to love each other for the next 30 years and never step on anybody's toes. Mm-hmm. There's always going to be something.
Yep.
And it's sad. It's sad that happens. And it's a shame that you take it into your personal life, too.
Yeah.
Where even they'll say, well, I can't be in a band with you, but I also don't ever want to speak to you again. Yeah. It's difficult. I just, that's it.
Couple more quick ones, and then we are going to be done. We'll play another song and wrap it up. Indiana, Nathan, hi, you're on the air with Vito Bratta.
Hey, how you doing, Eddie?
I'm good, thanks.
Hey, Vito, how you doing?
Good, how are you, Nathan?
I'm real good. Hey, I'm the creator of a fan website, and I don't know if it's okay to mention the name or not.
Are you the death metal guy?
Death metal guy?
No.
Are you twitching right now?
I come in peace.
Okay.
Is it okay to mention the name?
Go ahead, give it a plug.
It's Vito-Bratta.com, and I'm kind of asking on behalf of a lot of people who've written you letters, Vito. Do you ever get a chance to get over there and read any of those?
Have you ever visited that fan site? Do you visit any of your fan sites?
I've seen some of them, and of course, I mean, they're just unbelievable compliments. But I get hung up on the sites where you got to register. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I like to just cruise through websites, but when they start asking for a credit card or to register,
I don't blame you. I wouldn't do that either.
I've got a message board on the site where you have to register to view it.
Do you think? Wait a minute, Nathan. Do you think that maybe you could give Vito Bratta a special password to Vito-Bratta.com or whatever?
Absolutely.
Just maybe you could throw him a bone since you're using his name.
I've got the name reserved and everything. If you want to shoot me an email,
I get afraid that they're going to get my computer address and they're going to say
caller ID on the computer.
That's also the guy that looks at midgets.com. Are you the website that had pictures of me with my car when I bought it or something?
Yeah, somebody posted that, and they felt real bad real quick afterwards, so they took it back down, and they've been kind of popping up here and there. We've deleted them, when they do seem to pop up.
Yeah, that was the pictures of the red sports car.
Yeah, that's the one.
All right, Nathan. Well, email me through EddieTrunk.com the password, and then I'll get it to Vito for you.
Did you have a question?
Hey,
Did you have a question?
Yeah, well, one more thing I wanted to say. I'm kind of also guilty of perpetuating the real estate rumor. So
this guy's coming clean. He's having a cathartic moment. He's letting it all out. Yes, it was me that put the pictures in the car. Me, the real estate.
No, I didn't admit to that. That was somebody else.
Did you also say Vito was working in the deli too, or no?
No.
There was actually a website once when
not like there's anything wrong.
What was the name of that website where there was somebody on a website who said that they knew everything about me and everything was wrong. Everything, just everything.
Yeah.
My name was Jay Greenbaum or something, and I lived in Florida with my kids were jamming with Mike Tramp's kids.
As if Vito Bratta would be a stage name. That's what you would go on.
Yeah, my real name was Jay Green. What was it, Jay Greenbaum or something?
Oh man, Nathan, thanks. We got to move along.
Nathan, is that your website? Is that your website?
I'm sorry?
Is that your website?
Vito-Bratta.com is my website.
Well, it's just a major compliment. Thank you so much.
Hey, I appreciate it. It's an honor.
And I promise
years.
I'll get in there and I'll check it out and I'll email you all stuff that's wrong about it.
As long as you don't ask for his credit card, you're good.
Hey, no problem. All
right,
I'll send you an email, Eddie. Thanks.
This website's showing me driving this. It's funny. I live in this small little town, and I'm driving this bright red Lamborghini, and it's where is he hiding?
It's scary. There could be pictures of us in '87 at the Oakwoods going to the car show when Tom Peterson crawled out of the shrubs.
Do you remember?
In a drunken stupor. I remember so much of this. We could go on and on because, like I said, you go back more than 20 years with people.
We went out the night before, and it was the guys in Cheap Trick. Us, Eddie was there, and we went to the Rainbow.
The funniest thing about that night, just to cut you off real quick, was Rick Nielsen, because I was working for Megaforce at the time. Rick Nielsen, we went to that Mongolian barbecue place.
Right, the Mongolian barbecue.
In L.A. And Rick Nielsen, just because I worked for a label, but I didn't work for White Lion's label or Cheap Trick's label. I was just there with you guys. He wanted you to pay for it. He was breaking my balls. And this is when Cheap Trick had the Flame, and they were doing huge business. Right. And I'm looking at him like, Rick, not for nothing, but I can't expense this because neither of you guys are on my label. And he's going to me, well, he goes, we may need a label, and it would mean a lot more. That we'd have a better shot at signing us if you picked up the dinner. I'm like, Rick, I love you guys, but I'm here to, I'll kick in for my part, but I can't do this. I can't expense it. I can't afford it myself. And the funniest thing is, like, didn't see Rick Nielsen for like 15 years, and this is going back already 10 years ago, and I have Rick on this show on the phone, and I say to him, hey, Rick, and the first thing out of his mouth was, you should have picked up the Mongolian barbecue in L.A. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
Call him. You got his number?
I don't. I wish I did. One more call here, and then we've definitely got to wrap it up. We got another break, and then we're gonna end it. Let's go to Massachusetts. Billy.
Hey, what's up?
Final caller, real quick.
I got two questions. When are you guys going to come out with a live DVD